Amara, listen to me.
You ruined my life!
Rain poured heavily across the university campus that morning. Students ran through puddles using bags and folders to shield themselves from the storm. But inside the Faculty of Management Sciences, one girl remained completely unbothered. Amara Daniels, the smartest student in her department. Neat braids, glasses resting low on her nose, 3 textbooks open neatly in front of her. Her pen moved quickly across the page while the rest of the classroom struggled to stay awake. Focused, always focused. Then, suddenly, the classroom door opened, and the lecturer walked in carrying test scripts. Immediately, the room became tense. Some students adjusted in their seats nervously. Others whispered small prayers under their breath, because everybody knew one thing. Some people were about to cry today. The lecturer dropped the scripts heavily on the table and sighed deeply, disappointment already written all over his face. Then finally, he spoke. And somehow, his words made the tension even worse. He said some students should honestly reconsider why they were in the university. Nervous laughter spread across the classroom immediately. Then he began announcing scores. And just like everybody expected, Amara came first
Some
again.
of you should honestly reconsider why you're in this
Almost
school.
perfect.
Highest
Small
score, Amara
applause
Daniels,
filled the
29 over
classroom
30.
while she smiled politely and adjusted her
Highest
glasses
score.
calmly.
Amara
Nothing
Daniels.
surprising there. Amara succeeding was normal. But then, the lecturer's face changed. The classroom already knew what was coming, because there was only one student capable of consistently disappointing an entire faculty without shame. Jason Cole, the rich campus playboy, the boy who treated school like punishment. The lecturer announced his score.
And the
4
lowest,
over
Jason Cole,
30.
4 over 30. Playboy don't fail. Maybe the
instantly,
girls him they read instead
The
of books.
classroom exploded with laughter. Some students nearly fell from their chairs. Others mocked him openly. One student shouted that the playboy had failed again. Another joked that maybe Jason spent more time studying girls than books. The laughter only grew louder, but somehow Jason didn't care. Or at least that was what he wanted everybody to believe. He leaned back lazily in his chair, chewing gum slowly like the whole thing amused him. Black hoodie, expensive wristwatch, that dangerous calm smile that always made girls forgive him too easily. Then, casually, he told the lecturer that at least he passed attendance. The classroom erupted again. Even the lecturer nearly laughed before warning him seriously. One more semester like this, and he would be out of school completely. But Jason only smiled and saluted playfully like everything was still a joke. Meanwhile, Amara only glanced at him briefly before returning to her notes. To her, boys like Jason were distractions, and distractions destroyed futures. Later that evening, the campus library sat quietly under the sound of heavy rain. Soft typing sounds echoed around the room while students buried themselves inside books and assignments. And exactly where everybody expected her to be, Amara sat alone once again, studying. Of course she was studying, until suddenly, a chair dragged loudly across the floor. She looked up slowly, and there he was, Jason, holding a textbook upside down. For the first time that day, Amara
is upside
nearly
down.
laughed.
Ah, that
And
explains why nothing made
unfortunately
sense.
for her,
There it is.
Jason noticed immediately. That tiny smile caught his attention faster than anything else ever had. At first, Amara assumed he came to joke around, because serious conversations and Jason Cole had never existed in the same sentence before. But then, something unexpected happened.
If I fail again,
Jason
my dad will
admitted
pull
he
me out of
needed
school.
help.
You're joking.
I wish I
Real
was.
help. Not party help, not assignment copying. Actual help. Amara almost thought he was joking because everybody knew Jason didn't read. The boy barely attended tutorials, but as their conversation continued, something slowly became obvious. Jason was genuinely struggling. And for the first time since meeting him,
If I fail
he
again,
sounded
my dad will
afraid.
pull me out of school.
Not
You're
playful,
joking.
I wish I was.
not unserious. Afraid. He admitted that if
I
he
fail
failed
again,
one more
my dad will
semester,
pull me out of school.
his
You're
father
joking.
would pull
I wish
him
I
out of
was.
school completely. And somehow, that changed everything. Because behind all the confidence, behind the expensive clothes and careless smile, Amara finally noticed the pressure hiding underneath. For a moment, she hesitated. Helping Jason was dangerous. Boys like him complicated lives. But something about the sadness in his voice felt painfully real. So eventually, she
1
agreed
hour.
to tutor him.
1 hour. I'll
Just
tutor
1
you.
hour.
Wait.
At
Seriously?
least that was the plan. Days slowly turned into weeks. And somehow, their study sessions became normal. At first, Jason frustrated her endlessly. The boy could barely focus for 5 minutes without staring at her face instead of his textbook. And every serious conversation somehow turned into flirting. But little by little, something unexpected started happening. Jason began changing. Actually changing. He attended classes more often, started taking proper notes. Read ahead before tutorials. Even his friends became shocked. The loud parties reduced. The endless girls disappeared. And for the first time in a very long time, Jason Cole actually looked like someone trying to fix his life. Most people thought it was funny. Others believed the whole thing was an act. But Amara continued helping him anyway, because slowly, she began seeing a version of Jason nobody else noticed. A softer version, a broken version, a version that made her heart dangerously curious. One evening inside the cafeteria, everything changed. The usual jokes disappeared, and for the first time, Jason became completely honest. He admitted something nobody expected from him. That people had mocked him for so long. He eventually became exactly what they expected. The unserious rich boy. The disappointment, the joke. But then, he looked directly at Amara and quietly confessed that being around her made him want to become better. That sentence hit Amara harder than she expected. Because for the first time in years, someone wasn't admiring her because of her grades. Someone was admiring the way she made them feel. And unfortunately, her heart responded. As examination season approached, the entire campus noticed Jason changing. Less parties, less girls, more classes, more books, and naturally, rumors spread quickly. Some students claimed Amara had used love jazz on him. Others insisted Jason was pretending just to get close to her. But despite all the gossip, Amara trusted him, even when she tried not to. Then one quiet evening after another study session, Jason walked her toward her hostel. Soft wind moved through the empty road while distant students passed around them. Then suddenly, Jason stopped walking. And for the first time since she met him, the famous campus playboy looked nervous, truly nervous. His confidence disappeared completely as he admitted the truth. He had fallen in love with her, completely, deeply, honestly. And somewhere deep inside herself, Amara realized she had fallen too, very slowly. She smiled at him, and at that exact moment, a hidden camera captured everything from the darkness. Neither of them noticed. 3 days later, the entire university exploded into chaos. Phones buzzed non-stop. Students whispered inside classrooms. Hostel corridors became noisy. Everywhere, people gathered around staring at their screens in shock. At first, Amara didn't understand why everyone suddenly looked at her differently until her phone vibrated again and again and again. Dozens of messages flooded her screen within seconds. Confused and nervous, she finally opened the video everybody was talking about, and instantly, her entire world collapsed. A manipulated video had been edited to make it appear like she was sleeping with a lecturer for grades. The video looked horrifyingly real. Too real. Her blood ran cold immediately. The caption destroyed whatever hope she had left. First class runs girl exposed. Within minutes, the same students who once respected her began laughing at her openly. Some insulted her. Others secretly recorded her reaction. Amara could barely breathe anymore. Then suddenly, she noticed the account that uploaded the video. Campus King. Jason's old nickname. And immediately, everything inside her shattered. At that exact moment, Jason came running desperately through the crowd, trying to explain himself. But Amara was already broken. The pain had already turned into betrayal. Before Jason could even speak, she slapped
Mara, listen
him
to me.
hard.
You ruined
The entire crowd
my
gasped
life.
instantly.
Mara, listen
Students raised their phones
You
higher
ruined
to capture
my
every
life.
second. Tears filled Amara's eyes as she stared at him with heartbreak and anger. Because the one person she finally trusted was now the same person she believed had destroyed her life. Jason stood there completely shattered, trying desperately to explain himself, but Amara could no longer hear him. And as she walked away crying through the crowd, a hidden figure watched the chaos unfold quietly from a phone screen and smiled. Jason kept saying he was innocent, but if he didn't leak the video, then who did? Follow for part 2.